So to talk about the article in Forbes and where we were mentioned as a leader in the SOC world, I don't like to speak ill of anyone else. I'll speak about what we think is significantly different the way we perceive security or perceive defense. But first, to begin, most of the SOCs around the world, and again, not to name anything or anyone specifically, but most of the SOCs around the world are commodity help desks. This, I know it sounds bad, but it's not. It's pure decision, a business decision. If you speak with the guys managing it in closed doors, you're not saying anything they don't know. It's a business decision. Most of the clients will want what we call tier one, which is just the analyst looking at the screen, and then if there is an issue, throw it over to the client, or just tell the client, if not to use cynical words, tell the client, look, machine number 441 is speaking to China. What that means, should it be speaking to China? What should you do about it? Not my problem anymore. You handle it. That's 80% of the SOCs in the world. If you dive into it, that's what they do. It's called alert forwarding, and I will forward the alert to you, and you will do it. And clients were happy with it at first because they had the belief that I got the team, I have the team, I'll figure out what to do with it. But then as incidents started occurring, it turned out that, you know what, nobody's sure what to do with it. Nobody's even sure what exactly happened. A machine talking to China is an example, but that's very clear. But a machine got shut down and went back up. Nobody knows exactly who shut it down, why it got shut down, why did it go back up. Is it a NOC problem? Is it a networking problem, or is it a security issue? Who is to investigate this? I can tell you stories about attacks that we perpetrated where we were, so to speak, caught by an employee. He saw his machine moving or what. Security team came in, looked at the computer, whatever looked at means, for 4 or 5 hours, and told him you're good, gave him a clean bill of health. He continued working, they went about their way, and we continued with the hack. And then when we analyzed it with them at the end, we said, well, why did you guys do that? You're not a forensic expert. Why would you go to a machine, look at it, now, I'm happy if you could explain to me what you were looking at for 4 hours, and tell him you're good. I was on the machine. There was a Trojan installed on the machine. He wasn't even hiding. You clearly, again, I don't have your skill set, but you obviously don't have forensic skill set. I understand your IT security, but why would you give a clean bill of health to a machine from a forensics perspective? Well, there isn't a forensic expert in the organization, and I'm not going to outsource it now every time an employee has a suspicion. So right there, you see the problem that most organizations are not exactly sure what they need, so it's easy to provide them with a very basic skill set. That, 80% of the SOCs today. Help desk that deals with security systems. Then you climb up to the next level of SOCs. They have skills, but they service mass amount of clients. It's about commodity services. When you have one analyst looking at 100 plus clients at any given moment, even if that guy is phenomenal, there's very little you can expect from him. He's looking at 100 plus clients. He's being evaluated by the number of tickets he closes every hour. So if he has too many tickets opened, he's going to get a bad evaluation, which if you think of it from me as a private client, is counterproductive. I want you to look very deeply into my tickets. Because it's a commodity SOC. It's a great business model. They're not skilled, but they're designed to get as much traffic done with. You can't have a ticket open for more than X hours. You can't. It's just not accepted by the company. So you understand that the guys there will do anything they can to get it done and closed. It's a matter of where you're trying to go. You're trying to have 55,000 clients in your SOC, or are you trying to have 200, but give them a very high-end skills monitoring and response? We couldn't find that B option. We couldn't find a SOC that was saying that. Even the SOCs that were sort of saying that, as they started to work, they realized that option number one was just that much more lucrative. And most of them were doing it. Or they were outsourcing that high-end skill. Cerebro came into play, and we call it the world's first Smart SOC. We really believe it's the first Smart SOC. Cerebro's methodology, it says, I'm not going to be a commodity SOC. This is not a help desk thing. My analysts do not get measured by tickets open or tickets closed. They don't get measured by how many clients they have looking at the screen. They will never look at more than 5 to 7 clients, ever. Even though I build tools for them to do things automatically, a person cannot perceive beyond a certain amount of data. It's just, he's not effective. If he's looking at 30, he's not effective. 100, I don't know what he's doing. So from a skills perspective, Cerebro is different because it tells the analysts, I want you to optimize this. Every alert that popped up, I want you to make sure if we need it. Is it important? Is it critical? It's good for my business, and I'll explain why, because our business model is different. But from a professional perspective, my analysts get graded for conclusions they give. So if the team leader will tell me, hey, this guy has run 26 investigations and got 20 wrong, he's out. If he ran 5 but had a perfect answer, he's going up. I don't care about the number, I care about that you know what you're doing. Why? Because our business model isn't based on traffic. So how do big commodity SOCs sell? They either sell by the EPSs, which is event per seconds, or the log traffic. Either which way, they're billing you by the amount of traffic that comes in the room. So if you think about it for a second, I'm the guy responsible for cleaning the noise in your room, but you're paying me the noisier the room is. You understand the conflict of interest. Now, think of a customer who bought a big brand. There's a whole big team selling them whatnots and machines and everything. There's no way from a business perspective they're going to optimize their SIM. It just wouldn't fly up in management. And I understand that. If I were management, it wouldn't fly with me. Because there's no way I sold a client and every 6 months you clean the SIM and they're paying me less and less and less and less. The manager would come and say, what are you doing with this account? How is it decreasing? So we build a model that says, look, you're not going to pay me by the EPSs. You're not even going to pay my part by the traffic. Yes, the SIM is based on traffic. It's at cost. My part is what my part is. And if I do 1 ticket or 1,000 tickets, I'm not charging you more. If I have to bring extra effort, that means I didn't clean your SIM well enough, it's my problem. That means that at the end of the month, I will tell my employees, guys, why are there still 5,000 alerts from this client a day? If he has 5,000 alerts because there's really that much going on with their network, then we have to have a chat with the client and understand why he's being targeted like a nation. Extremely rare, almost never the reason. Almost never, but like 99%. Why does he have 5,000 alerts? Security systems not configured well, SIM not configured well, ruling not optimized. There's cleaning to be done that hasn't been done. So now my incentive is the same as his incentive. You want a clean SOC? I want a clean SOC. You want a perfected monitoring? I want a perfected monitoring. Not because I'm a good guy. Well, I like to think I'm a good guy. But because I created a business interest alliance. The cleaner, better, smoother, more correct way you're doing things, the better it is for me. Having created that, I think, is a very unique model. And if you look at clients that have been with us for 2, 3, or 4 years, where they started off versus where they're at today, they're doing 1/5 of the work, and they're getting 3, 4 times the security. That's where a SOC should come to. And if you have a SOC and your bill is increasing every month, you got to ask yourself, who's pushing this noise into my room and why? Do you see a EPS-based model SIM telling you don't put in a WAF? No, happy to. Bill just jumped by 100%. Why would I not be happy to? Hypothetically, there could be value there. It's a hypothetical conversation anybody can have. You want to put in a DLP system? Why not? It's quadruple the traffic. In fact, if you get to a high enough volume, I'll send you a big data analysis tool. It's a business model. Now, I say that with with a smile. It's a valid business model, but it doesn't have in its agenda to perfect your security. It's just a fact. Anybody who works with the growing market knows that. It's just a fact. That's the biggest business thing that differentiates Cerebro.